What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I'm back in the video. It's WrestleMania Day, Part 1! And today, I bring you my WrestleMania Night 1 predictions. I was originally going to film this and put this out last night. That didn't happen. So, I'm going to go over the Night 1 matches, as well as talk about the KO show segment, and give you my thoughts on that. And so, yeah. Please make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future uploads. Please check out all the other videos I've posted so far this week. I'd really appreciate that. Drop likes on those. And let's go ahead and let's jump into this. So, I'm going to look at the matches from the ones I don't really care about first to the one, all the way to the ones that I absolutely care about. Before we get into that, I want to talk about the KO show segment with Steve Austin. Now, apparently, that will be in the main event slot. I think Charlotte versus Ronda will be the main event match. But the KO show segment with Steve Austin will be the main event of the show itself tonight. And yeah, the interesting thing here is that last night during his Hall of Fame speech, or towards the end of it, Undertaker, before he left the ring, said, "Never say never." And immediately, everybody's thinking, wait, are you trying to tell us something? Are you trying to tell us you're going to be at Mania? Like, specifically regarding, a match? Like, with a certain someone, which we'll get to later. My thought is, Taker, along with the other Texas-based wrestlers, JBL and Booker T being a couple of others, will come out with Austin. And then when shit gets chaotic, they'll go after KO when KO tries to, get Austin into a stunner position. And then Steve Austin will stun KO, do the old middle finger thing, do the beer thing, close the show out, head into Sunday, head into night 2. I think that'd be cool. And we'll see what happens there. So now getting into the matches themselves. I'm starting with Drew McIntyre versus Corbin because I legitimately do not give a fuck. McIntyre wins. The only exciting thing for this match that I could see happening is if McIntyre becomes the first person to kick out of Corbin's finisher at the end of days. Outside of that, who legitimately gives a fuck? Next, the Mysterios against Miz and Logan Paul. I mean, it's Logan Paul, so, Best case scenario here, Ray and Dom do double 619s on Miz and Paul, from opposite sides of the ring. Excuse me. I think that would be cool. I don't want to see Ray and Dominik get broken up or feud with each other or anything like that. Say if you're gonna have them face each other, do it when Ray is ready to retire, to pass the torch on to his son. That's the best case scenario right there. So Ray and Dominik win. I'm gonna get the Charlotte Ronda match out of the way now because I just don't care. Like, compared to Becky versus Bianca, I do not fucking care about this Charlotte Ronda match. The feud has completely sucked ass. Becky and Bianca have upstaged that feud at every possible turn, multiple times over, and have just proven to be the better feud. So the fact that Charlotte and Ronda might be going in the main event match slot, because again, the KO show is looking to main event night 1 as a whole, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't want either of them to win. I don't want Charlotte to win because she shouldn't have the title right now, It needs to be with somebody else. She's been in the title picture for so long, and it's insane to me. But I also don't want Ronda to win because outside of a potential feud between her and Shayna Baszler that could rebuild Shayna into the monster that she was in NXT and the monster that she was looking like, going into her WrestleMania 36 match with Becky Lynch, which she should have won, by the way. Outside of that, I don't want Ronda winning the title either, because if she wins it, then she's probably not going to drop it until next year. So, going into next year's Mania. But I'm going to take Charlotte to retain and hope that she'll lose it to somebody else at a later time. And if so, I have thoughts. And depending on what happens at the end of WrestleMania, I'll provide you those thoughts. Hopefully. Next, The New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge, with Pete Dunne there, because I'm not calling him Butch. I'm feeling like this was supposed to be a 3-on-3 match with Big E there for the New Day, but of course, because of his neck injury, he's not there. And that's why I have the New Day winning, because they're going to win the match in his honor, which I think would be pretty cool. Then we have the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogz for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And I'm going to go with the upset alert. Nakamura and Boogz with the win and winning the titles. The way I see it is that you have this interesting dynamic of Nakamura with the strong style and Boogz, who just looks like a guy that would, in wrestling, that would thrive back in like the territory days, back in like the 40s or 50s or even 30s for that matter. Just the way he looks, the bulk, the build, the mustache, all this other stuff. He just feels like a guy that was born in the wrong era. That said, though, he can still perform. And I think him and Nakamura, they can do great things. And Boogz, I think, is the kind of guy that could help, that could keep one of the Usos at bay, while the other one gets the Kinshasa from Shinsuke and doesn't get hit from behind in the process. Allowing for Shinsuke to score the pin and the win and the titles, and throw a little bit of chaos between the Usos and Roman going into night 2. So, I have Nakamura and Boogz winning. Then we have Seth Rollins versus the opponent of Mr. McMahon's choosing, which will be announced during the event tonight. Okay. So everybody's expecting it to be Cody Rhodes, obviously. I want it to be Cody Rhodes, and I think it will be Cody Rhodes. The problem is, supposedly, he's got a family member that's got a birthday event or something like that today. And there's a chance, reportedly, and it may be it's from Meltzer, so take it with a grain of salt, but there's a chance that he might back out. And it wouldn't be WWE's choice, it would be his choice. And again, I have to bring up the whole never say never thing that Undertaker said last night. Not to mention, the other night, Wyndham Rotunda, formerly known as Bray Wyatt, who Vince name dropped last night, by the way, during the while he was inducting the Undertaker. That was nice. Reading off a lot of the opponents that Undertaker faced. Bray Wyatt had responded to a fan on Instagram, who had asked him about Seth, presumably regarding Hell in a Cell 2019 or whatever. And Bray talked about how, him and Seth are going to make up for that one day and things like that. I'm not saying it's going to be Taker or Bray or even Shane McMahon for that matter, because reportedly he's going to be in Dallas the entire weekend, although that might have just been for Taker's Hall of Fame induction. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be any one of the three of them, but considering the fact that Seth has been tweeting out a lot of gifs of people lately, and he hasn't tweeted out one for Cody, Taker, Bray, or Shane, I'm not ruling any of the four of them out to potentially show up and face him. The most plausible one would outside of Cody would probably be Taker, because again, because of the connection that him and Vince have. That being said, I'm still taking Cody Rhodes to be the mystery opponent because it would just make sense. Again, if he backs out, then that's fine. That's his choice. We'll just have to wait and see the night after, or Monday night, I should say, because it's a 2-night show. But that said, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes wins. Notably, he comes out with the same presentation that he had in AEW, which has been something that people have talked about as something that needs to happen. He needs to keep that presentation. I would agree. So Cody takes the W here. And then the final match that I want to talk about, the one that I care about the most, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. This is going to be insane. I'm fully expecting Becky to go batshit crazy by the end of this match because she knows, everybody knows that Bianca is going to win the title. You can't deny it. Like it's her revenge story. It's her redemption story from SummerSlam. And this has been a feud that's been going since SummerSlam. It was going for a while, kind of went on the back burner a little bit, for a while with over on SmackDown, and then post Crown Jewel Raw. And the coolest part about this reign that Becky's had, which is technically a continuation of the reign that she had before she left for her pregnancy in 2020. Yes, I'm not joking. But as far as Becky goes, it's been really nice to see, the feud with Liv, getting to face Piper at the Rumble, getting to face Lita Elimination Chamber in Saudi, no less. To see all these different matches that Becky's had, knowing that Bianca was waiting and that she was going to get her opportunity to get back at Becky no matter what. And, that's what she did, winning the Chamber. And not to mention, you also have just, I don't wish for anybody to be hurt, but Becky's injury to her voice box that she suffered on accident from Bianca at a house show a few weeks back, the fact how WWE worked that into the story, it's mind-blowing how much more this feud has been turned up since then. Because it's gone to another level of crazy. And then Bianca cutting, Becky's hair after Becky tried to cut off the braid. Again, you don't mess with the braid. She's warned y'all. But you all don't listen. So, Becky got what came to her, and she's going to get more. She's not walking out of Mania with the Raw Women's title. I don't want it to be a 26-second, or less squash per se. If Bianca gets her revenge and wins the title that way, I get it, but I don't want it to be that way. I want it to be an actual match, which I think it will. But as I said, Bianca will win. Becky goes batshit insane, and a certain someone is paying very close attention, both to this and Charlotte's match. But that's thoughts for another day, assuming everything goes according to how I see it. So, with that said, let me run through the winners once again as far as how I picked them. McIntyre over Corbin, Mysterio's over Miz and Paul, Flair over Rousey, New Day over Sheamus and Ridge, Nakamura and Boogz upset alert over the Usos, Cody Rhodes over Seth Rollins, and Bianca Belair over Becky Lynch. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to check out all the other content I've uploaded this week, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.